Hello, everyone. My guest today is Paul Statham. He is the CEO and founder of a company called Condeco Group. He has established several successful and innovative businesses, helping shape the relationship between real estate and technology. He's established Condeco as one of the foremost providers of workspace management technology and leading the company through a successful $30 million Series A round. He was previously managing director of one of the UK's largest electronic security companies. Paul, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, I am indeed.
All right. Tell us about the company, specifically what you do and what's your revenue model. How do you make money?
Right, we are primarily a software business. We run a subscription software solution that we supply to the enterprise corporate market, which is to provide scheduling and reservation system management and workspace utilization.
And walk me through the revenue model. So is it kind of a pure play SaaS model, or is there consulting and professional services mixed in, or what?
No, we have three parts of our business. We run a SaaS element, we run a services and consulting element, and we also run a proportion of hardware. We actually manufacture our own digital signage that goes outside of people's meeting space and on people's desks. So we manufacture that as well. So it comes from three different levels.
And so over the past 12 months, break down the revenue percentages of each of those. Which one is, 50, 60, 70%, et cetera?
We do about 45% of our revenue is now through our subscription. About 20% is through services, and the rest is through hardware.
Got it. Interesting. Now, does the hardware, obviously, once you get installed, does that create some nice lock-in so that your retention numbers kind of go up through the roof?
Yeah, we had great retention. We're a sticky product. Once people have invested, capital into the hardware, you find that they stick with you. But even the guys that don't use our hardware, you don't have to use the hardware. We still have a 95% retention rate, which we're very pleased with.
And that's 95% gross or net retention?
That's logo retention.
But gross or net?
It's gross.
Okay, and annually?
And our net retention is about 122%.
Okay, and that's on a revenue basis.
Okay, on a revenue basis, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And that's annual?
Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations. I want to dial back from the numbers for a second. So when people go into like a WeWork and they see kind of the signs outside of each meeting door that are like electronic, and you can use an app to kind of book them and stuff, is that you behind that?
That's what we. There are others on the market, but we are considered to be one of the first and one of the principal providers in the market.
And give me a general sense. I know you probably have a lot of different cohorts of customers, but on average, what are one of these companies paying you? Let's just focus on the SaaS revenue. So on a monthly basis.
It varies wildly. We have our smallest SaaS is paying us around a couple of $1,000s a month, and our largest could be paying us $30,000-$40,000 a month. So
and what's the difference between the two? Is it just number of locations, or what makes the difference?
Our revenue, our subscription model is based on the number of rooms and desks that we have managed within our system.
Okay, and so let's go micro for a second. So what do you charge per room or per desk?
It varies wildly, but depending on the size of the scale, but somewhere in a few $100s. It starts at a few $100s a year, so it can start as low as $30-$40 a month. If you have it with all of the additions, with signage and screens, it can go up to maybe $700 to $800 a month a year.
Okay. So I want to make sure I understand this. Let's say I'm I'm a single company and I have two offices in my building, and there are 3 desks in each office. I'm going to pay a couple, it sounds like I could pay maybe $1,000 or $2,000 just to manage those 2 offices for a year. Is that accurate?
If you had three meeting spaces and you wanted signs and to manage those meeting rooms, it would cost you for those 3 meeting spaces, cost you about $900 for the year, including the hardware.
Okay, got it. That's okay. That's reasonably priced. Great. And walk me through the backstory here. Let's put this on a timeline. When did you launch?
We launched in 2005. So we've been about for a while.
And where were you personally at that point, or did you join the company at the Series A level?
No, I was the founder of the business. I founded the business back in 2000 when we were doing software development, and we developed the Condeco product in 2005 and launched it. So I'm been with the business since the get-go.
So from 2000 to 2005, were you running essentially an agency and outsourced dev shop, and then you said, "Oh, a lot of people have this problem. Let's go all in."
Precisely, absolutely. That's exactly what happened. We were, we came across the problem on a number of times. We built a great solution, and went, guys, this is a winner. And we pushed on in 2005 and dropped the bespoke stuff that was going on at the time.
Good for cash flow, but a distraction once you have a SaaS company.
Totally and completely. We started life back in the day as a perpetual license company. We migrated in 2015 to entirely SaaS. We've never looked back. Painful times, but SaaS is a great place to be.
And what have you scaled to now today in terms of total customers using you?
Our total customer base is around 1,200.
Okay, got it. So is it is the sales process no touch, or is it pretty high touch? You have a big inside sales team.
No, we have over, in our total sales team, sales and marketing accounts for about 100 people within the business. We have a 10-man inside sales team. We have a 35-man outside sales team. We have channel teams. We have marketing teams. So we've got quite a big organization behind our sales and marketing.
What's total team size?
400.
400 people. Everyone in London?
No, we've got London accounts for about 120 of our members of staff, our team. We've got a large development and implementation center that is in Gurgaon in India. And we have offices. We have 11 other offices around the world. We've got offices in California, in New York, across Europe, Singapore, Australia. So we've got a wide range we cover globally.
And give me a sense of kind of at this scale you're at today, what are you growing at year over year?
We're growing around just under 30% year on year. And our SaaS revenue is growing at around 40% year on year.
That's great. And you said you raised capital. So how much have you raised to date?
We raised 30 million with Highland.
That's the only capital?
Yeah, that's the only capital. We were bootstrapped for the first 16 years of our life. And we then, because of our expansion was just getting so great that we took on some capital from Highland Europe. And that's been a great addition to our business.
You turned to the dark side. You couldn't resist it, huh?
I turned to the dark side, but I tell you what, love every minute of it now we're there. It makes our growth even stronger. So it's a great place to be.
Did they pursue you or did you pursue them?
They firstly pursued us. We then ran a process through KPMG. And we selected Highland, who had approached us previously because they really understood our business. A relatively small business, a company based in Europe, and really got to know us quite well over the period. And as I say, it's been really good. Often people reference the dark side, but we found it to be most certainly very, very insightful.
That's good. Now, Paul, if I take that 1,200 kind of customer count you gave me, and you said your minimum contracts are caught in the couple thousand range. I mean, if I take $3,000 times 1,200, that'll put you around $4 million per month right now in revenue. Is that generally accurate? Yeah,
we have it's about $4 million in revenue
per month.
Per month, yeah.
That's great. What it's pretty impressive. Actually, I want to take that back. When did you raise? What was the month?
We raised in June 2016.
And what was revenue at the point that you raised?
About $15 million, $12 million.
Oh, wow. So you've almost 3x'd over the past 16 months or so with the money.
Yeah. We've grown. We grew quite rapidly during that phase. So yeah, it's probably about $15 million back in the day.
Yeah. So there's two things I want to get here. One is that's incredible growth, right? Bootstrap to get to 15 million, but it's also incredible how you've been able to, a lot of people say, yeah, give me capital and I can use it to drive growth. And then the pro formas never check out. It sounds like you were able to spend it and the pro formas are checking out. I want to talk about both. So how are you, pre-funding days, how are you operating the company in terms of team size, in terms of what your sales organization looks like, and how you've thought about CAC and payback on your new customers?
Okay. Pre-funding, we were running very tight. We were investing everything back. We were running our pre-funding. We were still running through perpetual license days. So it's high profit, lower recurring revenue, and therefore we were still able to focus on customer satisfaction. We ran about a team of probably in the region of about 70 people, maybe 80 people. And we were still, client size, we were probably only around 300 or 400 clients. And then suddenly, obviously, we've expanded and the company's grown significantly.
Yeah. Now that was 2016, called 15 million in ARR. Today you're at, north of 45 million in ARR. It sounds like. Take me back to a year. So in July of 2017 or August 2017, what run rate were you at?
I don't know the exact figures, but let's put it somewhere in the region of around 8 million annual run rate of annual recurring.
Okay, wait, I'm confused. I thought you said a year before that in June 2016, you were doing 15 million.
Of total revenue.
Oh, I see. What was just SaaS revenue in 2016 run rate?
Oh, SaaS revenue in 2016 was probably around probably $6-7 million.
6-7. Okay. And then a year later, you grew that to 8.
Yeah, a year later, we doubled it. We grew it to 12.
Okay, that's what I just asked. So sorry, June 2016, 6 million pure SaaS ARR run rate. A year later, in July of 2017, I thought you just said 8 million, but no, you're saying it's 12.
Yeah, no, that was 12. You said in August. You said August 16, which was just after the investment. That was in June. So
my fault.
Yeah.
So and July 12.
A year after, July was it then ran. And we've been growing, and now our run rate is in dollar terms is running just south of 30 million. It's running at the moment.
And that's just SaaS revenue.
That's just recurring revenue, subscription revenue.
Got it. So that comes out, that's about 2.5 million a month. You're doing 4 million total per month. So you still have a significant portion, call it 1.5 million a month, coming from these other service lines, hardware, professional services.
Yeah.
Did Highland beat you up over that? Did they say, hey, Paul, we can't give you the valuation you want. So much of your revenue is professional services, and that's crappy margin.
Professional services were discounted, but the hardware, because we manufacture it ourselves and it's got some unique properties within it. Our gross margin on our hardware is fairly much quite close to our gross margin on our software. So they were very happy with us in the hardware market.
Well, that's great, because most software margins are called gross margins 85-ish range. If you can produce hardware at that rate, that's a healthy production cycle.
We're not quite. We're close, but we're not quite there. But we got a good gross margin on it.
Tell me more. We've had a few people on that have a hardware plus software component. Ones that come to mind are Eero, which is obviously home internet plugins into the things. Another is Purple Wi-Fi. There's a Wi-Fi install into airports, and there's a software service on the back end of it. Talk to me right now. What is your or how has that affected your churn and retention rates? In other words, if you take a cohort that has your hardware versus doesn't have your hardware, one, is that possible to not have your hardware and still use your software? And if so, what's the difference in the retention of those two cohorts?
It is possible to have our software without our hardware. Right. Only 50% of our clients use our hardware. The rest of them are just software. And our retention is similar on both. We have a similar retention on both. Yeah, it's the software drives this hardware as opposed to the hardware driving the software. So people buy our product because we're a software company, which is Condeco software. Our hardware is an add-on. So the value is that we produce, one of the best and well-respected products on the globe that does scheduling for meeting space. So people come to us because we've got that reputation.
Is there anyone that uses your hardware but does not use your software?
No, we don't sell. We don't sell our hardware without our software offering to run, because our software runs our hardware. So they come as one and the same.
Last few economic questions. CAC. What's it costing you fully weighted to acquire a new customer?
It's a calculation that we're currently reworking on because of the different calculations. Our CAC is running into around, the way we calculate it, we end up with around a CAC of about 1.2.
1,200?
Yeah.
Okay, to acquire a $3,000 a month customer?
No. It's because it breaks down. We're now breaking our CAC down for our enterprise customers, cost us more. So it averages. So if you break it down on a cost per acquisition for each room, it's around, for a $300 a year room, our cost of acquisition is coming out around $200.
200. Okay, got it. So what's your payback period then? You put it at what, 9 months, 10 months?
8 months.
8 months.
Yeah, 8 months.
That's healthy. Now, has that generally grown? That's gotten longer since you raised capital? You're getting more aggressive?
It's probably a little bit longer, but it's not hugely longer, but a little bit longer. Yeah, I think we were, as I say, before the capital, we were very perpetual based, so it's a different payback because the payback is significant, a lot quicker. So
yeah, do you see that payback period is the same across all your cohorts? So if someone's paying you, $3,000 a month, you're spending about $3,000 times the 8 months, so about $24,000 to acquire that customer.
If someone it's not linear. No, if someone has got 1,000 rooms, then our payback is actually a lot, considerably better than if you've got 1 or 2 rooms, because although it takes longer to do it, the value is significant.
Yeah, makes good sense. Let's jump in here, Paul, and wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Famous business book is The Second Machine Age. I think is really relevant to our business, and it came out in 2016, and I think it really set the tone for where we're going with robotics and AI, and it's one that I've quoted many times over the last 2 years.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
No.
Number 4, what's your favorite online tool for building your business?
I have 2 tools. I'm an old school, so email still is the center of my world, but Salesforce is driving our business unbelievably. So that would be my number 1, but I do love email still. So
number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
7.5.
It's pretty good. And what's the situation? Married, single, kids?
Married. Yeah. I'm 52 years old. I'm married. Have been for almost 25 years, and got 3 children.
3 kiddos. Okay, last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
To buy as much Apple stock as I could have done at the time would have been the first thing I'd have done. But no, in a business perspective, I think to actually be more strategic and less tactical back in the day. I think you start off life very tactical in the way you do things, and as you get bigger and grow, you realize that the strategic is the way to grow. And I think that's the thing I would learn, to be more strategic.
Be more strategic and less tactical. In 2000, he started basically ramping up kind of a dev shop in the agency format, doing kind of one-off projects, then realized, wow, a lot of my customers have this problem with managing their rooms and managing their office space. So in 2005, formally launched his product, Condeco. Today, they serve over 1,200 customers. All their rooms, right, managed with a piece of hardware. In many cases, about 50% of the customers buy the hardware. Each customer pays, call it $3-ish grand per month. They're currently doing about $2.5 million per month in pure SaaS revenue, $4 million per month in total revenue. So healthy numbers there. Growth rate about 40% year-over-year growth. A year ago today, their pure SaaS revenue was about $12 million. Again, that's now up or about $1 million a month, now at over $2.5 million a month. Retention metrics, super healthy, 95% annual gross retention, net revenue retention, 122% annually. Again, building a software out with this team of 400 between London, India, and other remote locations. Paul, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much.